had one job. You had one job, Karen. There you go. Take it away.
All right, good evening, everyone. I am very excited to introduce our 2021 VSTE Tech Coach of the Year recipient. She is amazing. This is going to be an amazing presentation. She works with CoVA. She started lots of amazing things in their district for students during the pandemic. And I know tonight when she does pandemic tech tools and tips, we are going to have an amazing time. So thank you all for joining us. Hold on to your seats because this is going to be a great ride. Introducing Miss Fara Faust. Thank you very much, Fara. Everybody clap it up for Fara.
Thank you, Chanel. Well, we were talking about what would be a good topic for us to share out with the members of VSTE. And since we're in the middle of a pandemic, we have done virtual learning, we have done face-to-face learning, we have done congruent learning. And over the last almost, it's hard to believe, 24 months, we have learned a lot. So I'm going to be sharing with you some of the tech tools and tips that I have been using that I have found to be some of those tech tools that I have put in my belt and I am not going to let loose. I love them and they have become some of my go-to options. So just to expand upon what Chanel said, who am I? I am an instructional technology specialist in Virginia Beach City Public Schools. Before that, I have a background as a special education teacher. I am a member, one of the new members of the VSTE Board of Directors. I am also a facilitator for Code VA. And along with Code VA, I was also named in 2018 the Computer Science Educator of the Year. So I love computer science. I also love tech tools and gadgets and tips and anything else that makes our life a little easier. So I'm going to start with a couple of Chrome extensions that I have used. And if you're interested in following along or you would like a copy of the slideshow, if you look in the chat box, you should see a link to the slide deck. I believe it'll ask you to make a copy, but please take a copy and share it so you have access to these resources later. So one of my favorite custom tools is the custom cursor. Now, when you've got kids and you're teaching virtually and they're elementary and you're trying to keep their attention, sometimes it's hard to say, hey, look where I'm pointing. Look at where my cursor is. You know, kindergartners don't even know what the cursor is. The custom cursor is a Chrome extension, and I am going to, I don't have one on right now. So now I'm going to go to the custom cursor, and you have all sorts of options. You can pick cartoon characters. And when I say they have tons of options, there's probably hundreds of different cursor options that you can look into. Once you install the extension, you just click on more cursors and it takes you to their website. And you can install all of these. So you've got bright colors, you've got cartoons, you've got holiday icons, you've got different jobs, movies, sports. But for today, I'm just going to use the bright red. So now I've just clicked on what I've selected, and then I just close the browser, and now I am ready. And you can now, when I say, look right here, it's much easier for you to see what I am trying to show you. And the kids love it. I will tell you that I had a Christmas tree as my custom cursor right before the holidays. And I was teaching back-to-back classes, and you know, we would ask, do you have any questions? And the kids weren't asking, you know, a question about the lesson. They were raising their hand going, how do we get the Christmas tree on our computer? And they were so mad at me when I said, sorry, it's just for the teachers. but a cute way to get your students following along and focus with what you're trying to share with them on the screen. Another extension that I love is the Confetti Cannon. And I know that there are different options like this, but once again, sometimes when we have kids that we're teaching virtually, or we have large classes of students, or students that have not been in the classroom in a while, and we're trying to get them reoriented to, let's look up here at the front board, let me show you what I'm sharing with you. You need to get their attention. So when a student gives you the correct answer and you're just so excited, instead of just saying, hey, I'm so excited, shoot off the confetti cannon. Is this not cool? And sometimes I just shoot it off because I like to see it fill up my screen with confetti. But those are two of my favorite Chrome extensions. Another one that I will have to say has now become an essential in my life as a teacher is Bitmoji. If you're familiar with Bitmoji, sometimes it's an app that you use on your phone that you can add little Bitmojis to Facebook or Twitter or your email. Well, there is also a Chrome extension for Bitmoji that allows you to drag or to copy and paste a cartoon of yourself onto any document you're creating, any slideshow that you're doing. And it really gets the kids' attention. It makes it a little bit more personalized when the kids see you or an image of you on the screen up front or on a document. One of the things that we have learned, or I wanted to tips that I have found, is that sometimes we're looking for an image, a little Bitmoji cartoon that doesn't have a lot of background. So my example here, I have me popping out of a laptop. Well, maybe I just want a picture of me waving or smiling, or maybe just standing. So if you go to your Bitmoji extension, I'm gonna open mine up here. Oh, I'm not going to go through all that. I thought I was already logged in. Move this out of the way. But when you go to your Bitmoji extension, if you go up to the search bar and you type in pose, P-O-S-E, you will get results of you in many different poses. So you can find yourself standing up, smiling, laughing, laying on the floor. If you want a sitting position or pose, type in sitting in the search and you get copies, versions of yourself, your Bitmoji self in that sitting pose. Now, why would you want some cartoons of yourself that are just your individual cartoon and not any background? Because you can put them in Bitmoji Classrooms. How many of you have seen or heard of Bitmoji Classrooms? I teach at the elementary level, and they were a big thing when we were virtual learning. And now, instead of just using a choice board, teachers are making Bitmoji Classrooms. So if you have the slide deck open, you can click on any of the items on my in my Bitmoji Classroom, and they'll take you to something. So if you click on Scratch, it's going to take you to Scratch. If you click on King Tut, you're going to go learn more about Egypt. If you click on the Magic Tree House, it's going to take you to the Magic Tree House. I'm a big history buff, so I have a link to Colonial Williamsburg and Fort Monroe and code.org. My favorite thing is this is really a picture of my cat, Winston Churchill. And if you click on Winston Churchill, I just added a fun little link to Cat Bounce. So I always try to hide something fun into the Bitmoji Classroom, and the kids see them and they start clicking on them, trying to see what they can find and to see if they can find the fun little game that I've hidden inside my Bitmoji Classroom. But you can make a Bitmoji Classroom for just about anything. You can put it, I work very closely with our school library media specialist. She puts out monthly Bitmoji bookshelves where she has virtual books or read aloud books that she puts on her shelf, and she'll change them on a regular basis and send them out to teachers so that they can share them with their students. If you're interested in making a Bitmoji Classroom, they're actually very easy to make. I use Google Slides because, as several people say, Google Slides is sort of like the Swiss knife for Google apps. It can do just about anything in there. So I have a little GIF here that's showing you how you can put together your Bitmoji Classroom. And in my slide deck, I have several resources for you. So I have a couple of videos that will show you how you can create a Bitmoji Classroom. Basically, you create a scene on a Google slide, and then you hyperlink the objects, the images, the pictures, whatever you would like. You can even insert a video so that students can click on, you could have a interactive board in your classroom, and they can click on that interactive board and play the video. I also have, under resources for creating a Bitmoji Classroom, I have a whole Google folder full of resources. They're already here for you. So if you need curtains, I've got curtains for you. If you need, there we go. If you need chairs, we've got chairs, we've got people, we've got animals. So here are lots of different images that are already ready for you. All you have to do is select the one you want, copy and paste it onto your Google slide, and you will be ready to go. One of the other tools that I have found that I turn to over and over again is a web-based application called Remove Background. And the link to it is the last one on this slide, remove.bg. And what it does, if you find an image on, say you're doing a Google search and you want to find an American flag, and you can't find one with a transparent background, and you find the exact flag you want or image, but you want to get rid of the white background. If you go to Remove BG, Remove Background, all you do is drag or upload your image right onto the page, give it about 30 seconds, and it will take away that background. If it's white, it takes away the solid white background. If there are other images or there's a colored background, it will take that away, and it will give you a PNG image, which has a transparent background, which you can then copy and paste into your Bitmoji Classroom. So a fun way that you can add things into your, share with your students, but a little different take on that classic choice board that we've been using with students for many, many years. So now let's move on to some of my favorite websites and applications. And if you all, we're a small group, if you all use any of these or have anything to add on, please feel free to unmute and jump in. Comments, tips that you use with these, we'd all love to hear them. The first thing I think that I have learned that is essential when we are working with students in an instructional environment is you need a learning management system. Different districts, different schools have different abilities or different selections of learning management systems. Some of the most popular would be Canvas, Schoology, Google Classroom. If you have younger students, a lot of teachers use Seesaw, but it's a way that teachers can share assignments. They usually can share interactive assignments, and it's a way of, it's like one place. Students can go and get their assignments. Teachers can share assignments with students on the learning management system. It also allows teachers to track student engagement, task or assignment completion. You can deliver quizzes that are self-checking. A lot of different features added into a learning management system. But instead of trying to figure out a way, do I create a website and share out assignments? How do I know which students have completed an assignment? That learning management system is what you need. It's essential to working in a digital classroom and doing digital instruction these days. So that said, let's look at Google Sites. Google Sites is the web creating application from Google, and it's been around a long time. They continue to make some improvements to it. What I came to rely on in the last couple of years with Google Sites is it was a way for me to relay information to my teachers and my parents on things that they needed to know. It started out when we were doing virtual learning, and I thought, parents are having trouble at home with their kids logging on, or they can't find an assignment, or they don't know how to turn in an assignment. And so I would create a video, but I thought, how do I share the video? So I created a website, and the website, I shared the link with parents and teachers. Teachers put it on their weekly communications with parents. And if a parent had trouble, before they had to scramble and try to find the teacher's phone number or email address and wait for a response, they could refer to my Google site. So I don't have a link to my Google Sites because they hold some information that are specific to my school, but I did find a really great example of how you can use Google Sites to create something that is very useful for your students. So this is actually a site by a school district. They have many different pages. So they've got information about Chromebooks, Google Apps, Gmail. This district uses Google Classroom. How to resolve issues with the internet that you might have at home. And you can very easily add in and link videos, resources, Google Documents. You can jazz it up by creating your own little graphics and adding those and creating linked buttons that will take you to different pages or different resources. But it's a great way by using Google Sites to put all the information that your students need into one location that they can refer back to. So I always recommend when we're doing Google Sites, teachers, our lives are so busy and you don't always have time to regularly, weekly update a Google site or a classroom website. So put information on your website that is relevant for the school year. Put the grading policy. If you have, my school district uses ClassLink to log on to our Chromebooks. So I have a video and directions to show parents how you would do that. But things that the students will need and use throughout the year. Always good if you are using a specific device, such as a Chromebook or an iPad or a MacBook that your students take back and forth home. Make sure that you have resources on your Google site to assist those students with how can I troubleshoot if I have a problem with my computer and I'm home and I don't have, and it's 11 o'clock at night and I don't have anybody to email or call. So those are great ways to use Google Sites. I also have on the slide some resources for you. So if you're brand new to Google Sites, here's a tutorial on how to create a Google site. A great article on how you can use Google Sites to revolutionize your teaching. One of the things that I also use Google Sites for, besides just your basic website, is digital breakouts. If you all are familiar with breakouts, where we usually have boxes where the kids have clues and they have to figure out, use the clues to figure out the locks, to unlock the locks in the boxes. Well, when you're teaching virtually or during a pandemic, when we're trying to do social distancing, so you can't have 5 or 6 kids all handling one box at one time, create a digital breakout. Put those clues into a website, and each page could be a different clue, or you could have the pages linked. So once they solve the clue on one page, it links them to the next page, and so on till they get through all the clues to solve or break out of the problem. So lots of ideas in that article on how you can use Google Sites besides just for a classroom website. And then Matt Miller's always got creative ideas. And he's got an article or blog post on 20 Google Sites tips and tricks. So moving along, like I said, for me, it's always about student engagement, keeping the kids focused up on the lesson and what we're doing, keeping them engaged. And since we can't always, with our social distancing, even in the classrooms, we can't always gather together, I try to put things up on the classroom, the interactive board, where students can interact, whether they tell us hit spin. Wheel of Names is one of those. The Wheel of Names is a great tool, very simple to use. You can use it to create several different things. So I have 3 ideas here. One is just your basic spinner, where you type in the names of your students, you click spin, or you just click on the circle, it spins. Where it ends, no one knows. Another idea is giving them writing topics or starters. You could give them choices. Maybe it's indoor recess today and you've got to come up with choices. Maybe they have earned a reward and a classroom reward, and you can put their choices on a spinner. You spin it, and whatever it lands on is what their prize is. Another cool addition to the Wheel of Names is that they now allow you to upload images. So if you are teaching the littles, the pre-K, kindergarten, first grade, where they may not be able to read a whole sentence or a whole choice yet, you can use images. In this spinner, they've used the kids' pictures, but you could also put pictures of prizes. You could put pictures of word prompts, writing prompts that you want to use with your students. And just a quick glance, all you do is go over here to the side, you would delete all of the names, and then you would type in either the name or the phrase that you would like on each section. And you can have, I think, up to 100 different sections or dividers. So it's very versatile and will accommodate large sizes large groups. You can also customize it. So there are ways that you can add that ticking sound. You can change the appearance. You can give the wheel a different background image. Imagine spinning a chocolate chip cookie. And other options that will allow you to personalize it to meet your needs. So that's another great tool with a lot of options, the wheel of names. Now, since most of us have gone back to face-to-face instruction and we're no longer doing virtual instruction, we sort of forget about Zoom sometimes. But one thing that I think is great, you know, during the pandemic, we were doing a lot of asynchronous instruction. We were creating how-to videos. We were creating instructional videos for our students and sharing those out. Don't forget that Zoom is still a great tool to create videos. You can make a recording, save that recording, download it, upload it to YouTube, or share the link out with your students. But one of the features that I think sets Zoom apart than some of the other screen recording apps is the virtual background option in Zoom. You can do this two ways. You can either create a PowerPoint, and when you go to share your Zoom screen, you can share your PowerPoint as your virtual background. So you can click through your PowerPoint, and as you click through, the images behind you are changing. You can also create your own virtual background using Google Drawings or Google Slides, and you can save that as a virtual background and just click on it and you have a static image behind you. I have a teacher who taught virtually all last year, and he would put in the morning, he had a little template, a Google slide template, and each morning he would adjust his learning targets, and he would have his learning targets on the side of his Zoom screen. So when he said, "Good morning, kids, here's what we're going to learn today," he could turn to the side and point and go down the list. So it's a great way to add a little bit more imagery to what your instructional or tutorial videos that you're creating. So don't forget, Zoom has more options than just for video conferencing. Another one of my essential go-tos is Wakelet. I have thousands of links that I have saved or bookmarked. And have you ever tried to find something in a hurry in your bookmark list on Chrome browser? Well, I discovered Wakelet and I said, wow, look at this. I have everything organized in one spot and it's fantastic. Is anybody using Wakelet? Are you all familiar with Wakelet? We've had in the past, there used to be some bookmarking sites. Well, Wakelet is a little bit more than just your bookmarking site. What's great about Wakelet is you can bookmark a website. You can, if you have a Google document that has that URL, you can save a link to that document. But let me show you, and one of the things on this slide is I've created a Wakelet just for this presentation. So as I was going through the internet and pulling up my resources, I saved them to a Wakelet. So here in this Wakelet that you have access to are links to everything. There's a link to the slide deck that I'm covering with you today. And so I've made little headings to divide things up. And then you just have a link, you click on it and it goes right to that link. Now you can go to the Wakelet site and you create your own little departments, and I'm not going to go in and log into my account. using a different one than my VSTE account. But with your Wakelet, you can go in and you can create different clusters. So I have a collection for science, a collection for coding, a collection for winter. The Olympics are coming up. I have a collection of interactive sites for the Olympics. But another thing that's really cool is that you can add a Wakelet extension to your Chrome browser. And so wherever you are, you click on a link and you say, hey, I want to keep this. Instead of trying to copy and paste the link into a different application, all you do is go up here, click on the little W for Wakelet, and it will save it. And then it will also ask you what collection you want to put it in. And you can scroll down, put it in an existing collection, or right there from that screen, you can create your own. But I know that Karen uses Wakelet. She has a setting on hers that she uses. And you know what, Karen? I don't think my school district allows us to do that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pop in real quick. Fara and I were talking about this. I really like Wakelet. If you're just a civilian like I am, who has my own laptop that I control, when you install the Chrome extension for Wakelet, it actually takes over your new tab in your browser automatically, like as the default. So if you click on new tab, it goes to my Wakelet page. But a new feature on the right-hand side of that page, it lists all the tabs I have open. And I jokingly said to Fara, I don't like being part of the how many tabs do you have open competition. I close out my tabs at the end of every day. So all I have to do is open a new Chrome tab, go down to the bottom of the list and click save this, and it saves it as a Wakelet collection for me. There's other extensions that do the similar kind of thing. Browser Buddy, I think, is another one, but Wakelet's kind of cool. And so, you're in the middle of planning a workshop. There are the 20 tabs you want to share with the people. New tab in your browser, click that bottom link, and you're good to go. So there you go. But maybe your people don't let you do that. Sorry, Fara.
Sorry.
The man is watching over you.
I know. I was working on this at school. I'm going to quickly log into my Wakelet account. What I also wanted to show you is that it's very versatile, and a lot of the bookmarking sites, they only allow you to save takes me 20 clicks now to log into something. There we go.
And a 6-digit code in some cases as well, but I suppose it's protecting all of us, right?
Yeah, we're up to 12, so.
Okay, oh dear, sorry.
I know, it's like, anyway, what I wanted to show you was once you have a Wakelet collection, you can go in and you can add to it. So here is where I can go in and I can just paste a link to a web address that I want to save. I can go in and add a text box if I'd like. But if you click the little apps section, little button here, these are all the things that you can save. So you can save tweets. If you see something on a tweet and you go, hey, I want to keep that and refer back to it, this is the place that you can save it. You can save Flipgrid videos, YouTube videos. If you have a YouTube video that you said, hey, I know at that PD there was a video I saw, I remember the name of it, but I don't have the URL, you can search for the YouTube video and save it into Wakelet. You can save anything from your Google Drive. If you're a Microsoft school, you can save anything from your OneDrive, or if you have Adobe, used to be Adobe Spark, now it's Creative Cloud Express. You can save documents and creations from that also into Wakelet, along with PDFs and images. So it's very versatile, and that's what I really like about Wakelet. Somehow I popped out. Trying to get all logged in, I popped out my slideshow. Sorry about that, folks. Oh. There we go. All right, so moving along. Another essential tool that I have used, that I've known about this forever, but I never really used it a whole lot, is Google Keep. It's one of those apps that's been part of the Google workspace for years and years, but I really didn't need it a whole lot. But as we were working virtually, and now that we're back to face-to-face instruction, you know, there were little tips or little notes where I would normally take a Post-it note and put it on my desk at work or up along the sides of my monitor that would tell me, okay, if somebody can't do this, here's the shortcut, or here are the keystrokes for this, or here's the quick, you know, how to solve this problem. And I didn't know where to keep all of those. So I started using Google Keep. And I have found that it's a great place to keep short little notes that I know I'm going to refer back to them. So Google Keep will allow you.
With MailChimp, you can design.
See if it'll let me log. There we go. All right. So you can create a note just up here at the top. You can type in your note, a title, you can type in your note. Then you can add a reminder. So you know that at a certain time, you want to be reminded of this. This is great if you have Google Keep installed on your phone. You can share it or have somebody else have access to your note. You can change the background color. And I use this option a lot because I color code my notes. So if it's a tech tip, or it's a way to solve a tech issue or problem that is frequently, I'll put like a red background. If it's reminders, things that I need to do, I can make use a green background. Another option that they have is that you can also add check boxes. So you can make a checklist. So if you, I'm not this organized, but if you had made a daily to-do list or a weekly to-do list, these are the things I need to accomplish today before I leave, you can create your list, hit close. As you're going through, after you hit each item, it marks it off and moves it to the bottom of your list. And as you complete each item, you finish, you mark them off your list. Now you can also organize your notes, not only by color coding the background, you can add labels, so you can group things, school, personal, kids, whatever, but ways to organize, many different ways to organize little digital notes, which is a great resource if we're doing digital. And I've even shown, last year I even worked with some of my fifth graders and showing them how to use information. What is another advantage if you are a Google school to using Google Keep is that students can type in notes or paragraphs that they they are working on. If they're doing research, they can open up a Google Keep note for one resource, put their bibliography information, type in their paragraph, and save it. When they open up a Google document to write their report, they can, one of their choices for how do you upload or get information into your document is you can go from your Google document to Google Keep, and you can drag or just click on your Keep Post-it note, and it will take that information and insert it into your document. Is that not cool? So a lot of different options to use for Google Keep. Jamboards. I don't know how many of you have used or started using Jamboards. I thought, oh, this is a cute little thing when I first saw it, but the more I use it, the more I see different options. I have several options here for you, and I'm not going to go through each one of them, but the one I do want to show you is I think it was Matt Miller, did a webinar about a year ago, and he introduced Esther Parks. Esther Parks is on Twitter. She is a high school teacher. She was an early adopter for Jamboards, and she has gone to town with them. She has created a resource library for you with lots of different options. Now, she teaches high school, but there are so many of these templates that I could use in my elementary setting. And here, oh, there was just a minute ago a picture of Esther Parks, but she's so creative. And so if you're new to using Jamboard, here are some great templates that you can take and adapt them to your needs. So what is a Jamboard? I'm just going to open up one real quick. One of Esther's Jamboards. And a Jamboard is a collaborative interactive board. So more than one student can access a Jamboard at a time, and they can be typing and adding images and text and moving things around and organizing or sorting things out all at the same time. The only thing you need to be aware of is that Jamboard will only allow 25 users on the Jamboard at one time. So if you have a class that's larger than 25, you need to make a duplicate of your Jamboard and just share out the two, split the class in half and share it out. But other than that, it's a great way. Kids, you can use it on the fly. You can open it up and they can add Post-it notes, or you can give them a template that's already there, and all you're asking them to do is fill in the information or organize the information. But Google Jamboard is a great way to get your kids working and thinking together without a lot of interference. And it's very nice. Kids, when they click on it, you get your own little name, so you can even see who's got this Post-it note and who's got the pink one, who's got the green one. So there's not a way students were like in Google Slides. If you've ever had an issue, use Google Slides with a whole class, and you end up with two kids on the same slide, and they're, one does one thing and it cancels out or deletes what the other student did. Well, you don't have that problem with the Jamboard. So it's a great way for more than one student to work together. And some other stuff, a few things that I wasn't sure what category to go in. One of my favorite Google tips. Now, I love Tony Vincent. He's one of my favorite tech gurus with his tips and tricks. He gives you the idea here in this infographic, that you can take a URL to a Google document, mainly a Google slide is what I'm thinking about, and you can delete the end of the address up to and including the word edit, but you leave the slash mark. If you replace that ending with edit and all the other gibbly-goop with preview, and you share this link with your students, they open it up and it's in a preview mode. So they can't make any changes, but it's full screen and they don't see the slide deck along the side. The way that they would move from one slide to another is they would click on the slide, just like you're presenting. So another way to do this that I've discovered is, instead of using the word preview, you can use the word present. And when you share that document or that slide, it opens up for your students in the present mode. So they have no way to go anywhere but where you want. They can't click on anything and edit and move it by mistake. Sometimes that happens, especially at elementary school level. But it's a great way to share something when you want kids to be able to click on things, but you don't want them to move or change or edit anything on your slide. A good example of this is if you're using Bitmoji Classrooms. And when you share the link, share it out and change the ending to either preview or present. And it opens up full screen for the students. So they see it at the maximum size they can view it at, and they can click and all the hyperlinks work, but they're not able to change or edit anything. So that's one of my favorite little Google slide tips. Bluekit. Now let's, we're all business, but sometimes it's just fun to play a game. Have you heard of Bluekit? Anybody heard of Bluekit? Bluekit is a game that I just heard about a year ago. I have played Kahoot for many years. Kahoot, I thought, was just the best game. It was fast and energizing, and the kids would get so excited about it. Well, Bluekit is like Kahoot on steroids. So take Kahoot and add Pokemon cards, or as they call them, Blooks. So here are little examples of some of the Blooks. And Blooks have powers, they have different levels. There's some that are common, some that are rare. And as you play, you earn points that you can use to collect and buy your Blooks. So Bluekit.
So I've got my essay written, and I've...
Sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing. I'm going to click up here and just open up Bluekit for you. Bluekit plays. I'm trying to confuse. Oh, a minute. All right, I'm not gonna, it's confusing. It won't recognize my school email. I'm logged in my VSTE account. But Bluekit has pre-made games that you can select, and this is appropriate for kindergarten through 12th grade and even at the college level. There are different games that you can select to play with the same question set. So you can make a set of questions, and then you can go in and you can select what game you want your students to use with that question set. So it's nice that you can keep the same question set and change up the games. Some of the games are simple, some of them are more complex. And basically what you're doing is you answer the question. Once you answer the question, then you get to make a choice. And whatever your choice is where you earn those points. So one of them are gold chest, and you select a chest, and depending on the luck of the draw, you can lose 100 points or you can gain 100 pieces of gold. But what the kids love is that it also gives you the option to steal other kids, other students, gold or points or money, and it's like a strategy game. So there's two things going on. They're answering the questions based on your content information, but they're also playing a strategic game of oh, I got your, I'm going to steal your 100 points and now I'm the leader. And lots of fun, very high energy, and the kids love it. So if you want to play a fun game, but make some, able to use it with instruction and content, Wakelet is the answer. Another little tip that I don't think I put on here is that Wakelet, how many of you are familiar with Quizlet? Quizlet's been around a long time. It's a site where you create a set of questions. You can upload images and answers, and then there are different things for kids to do. So they can take a quiz or they can learn to spell the vocabulary. What Wakelet does is that it allows you to find a Quizlet set of questions, and there are thousands of Quizlet questions. And if you Google a certain grade level or a certain subject and you add comma SOL, you will find Virginia teachers who have created quiz sets for you already. But you can
okay, wait a minute. Whoa. We're recording this for posterity. So say that again. What am I Googling? Quizlet.
Let me.
Yeah, I'm just going to say that was one of the, how you go to webinars and it was like, wait a minute, here's the tip, my friend. And you've had a lot of really good ones tonight.
Quizlet, like I said, and I apologize because everything's under my school account and I'm logged in under my VSTE account. But Quizlet is the site.
Right.
And Quizlet has thousands of question sets that you can use to create quizzes or make flashcards for kids. It's where you use one question set and then you have 4 or 5 different options that students can use to learn that information and quiz them on it. Wakelet allows you to take a Quizlet set of questions and upload it into Wakelet.
Okay, cool.
Wakelet is newer, and they don't have a lot of options with questions. They have a lot, but some of them aren't, especially in Virginia when we're looking for that SOL connection, it's not there. But Quizlet has been around so long that there are lots of Virginia teachers that have created SOL related question sets. And so all you have to do, and when you go into Wakelet, you just click use Quizlet set and it walks you, just follow the prompts. It's very easy to upload and create your own Wakelet games.
Thank you. Cool. Good. Thanks. The SOL part was the great part. Yeah. Cause that's what we teach here in Virginia. So thank you.
That's right. That's right. I'm always looking for where's the SOL content. Another thing that happened during the shutdown during the pandemic in 2019, everything shut down. Felt like the whole world shut down. And we couldn't do field trips or visit museums. And a lot of companies, zoos, national parks, museums, started thinking, you know, our crowds are gone. We can't have people in to our facility, but how can we still share out? And they started creating virtual field trips. And to this day, I still look and use virtual field trips with my kids. And there are hundreds of different resources. So I have just provided you with a short list of resources for virtual field trips. If you're studying animals or habitats, set up a virtual field trip with a national park. They're usually free of charge or at a very like maybe $50 for a whole grade level. And you get a park ranger that will speak to you from Yellowstone Park and will hold up bison antlers and talk to you about the horns of a bison and why a bison's not really a buffalo and so on, and really show you the habitat. You can take Colonial Williamsburg has gone in and taken 360-degree videos of some of their most popular or important buildings, and you can watch videos of those. Mount Vernon has done the same thing. If you want to learn more about animals, the San Diego Zoo has live video webcams that you can see the animals in their zoo habitats, hopefully a little similar to their natural habitats. And then a couple of quick tools, actually, basically the same idea that I wanted to share with you, and these are my last couple of things. When you are working with students and you need to share something, maybe you want to show them how to write out a math problem, or you want to solve a math problem and you can't do that on your keyboard. You want to share an image from, or maybe one of the things I kept showing, I'm working with elementary kids and I wanted to show them how to use keyboard shortcuts. And I couldn't, I would say, well, hit the escape button and the shift button. They had no idea what I was talking about. If you have a document camera, one of my favorites is the Hue document camera. It runs about $75 to $100 a piece. They have that little squiggly neck so you can turn them around however you wanted to. What's also nice is that there's a USB plug that takes away from the base, so you can plug it right into your computer or your laptop and aim it right over your keyboard. So, and it uses the camera app on your laptop, and you can show the students what keystrokes they need to be using. If this is out of your price range, another option is a laptop mirror cam. Now, this is an example. If you've ever seen like the Osmo game, and the Osmos have a little red device you put over the camera hole on the iPad or your Amazon Fire, this does the same thing. You take this little device, you insert it over your camera on your laptop. It has a little mirror inside. So it looks down. So I'm showing you how to draw a kitty cat. And then on the camera that I'm sharing with the students, you see exactly what I'm doing. So the little green mirror cam is called the Impivo mirror cam. You can buy, I think you can buy like a set of 6 for about $40 on Amazon. I found a 3D model that you can print out your own. So here's the Thingiverse link to that file. You can also find a similar device on Etsy. So that wraps up a lot of my tips and tools. Some of the things that I discovered or started using in the last 2 years that now are part of my regular repertoire are my teacher toolbox that I carry around and use on a daily basis. So any questions? Anybody have anything? Comments, questions?
Yes, I have a question for you. For
Okay.
Bluekit, is that pronounced correctly?
Bluekit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Which game mode do you prefer?
Well, I work with the elementary kids, so I always start with, is it the treasure chest? It's the one with the 3 little treasure boxes. Another one that I like is I believe it's the diner, where you save money and then you buy, you're running a diner. And so you try to make points so that you can buy food for your diner. And then you have people that you come in and eat your food, and you make money by selling your food, blah, blah, blah. So, and then they also do some seasonal ones that occasionally they'll have a special edition Bluekit game that's only available for like the springtime or the winter time, things like that.
This is awesome. Thank you.
Well, you are welcome.
And I was just, hey, I know we're past time here, but this is so great. I was just going to pop in and say, and I put it in the chat too. So like Google Meet or Google Keep. I really don't ever go to Google Keep, but I use it via Gmail. Like the thing I love about Google is the integrations, right? So the task list, but also Google Keep. So you can sort of say to an email, I want you to hang out on Google Keep for a while. And it's kind of like what you said, maybe it's text for something or that sort of thing. But those integrations are a really nice piece for kind of productivity too. So this has been awesome, Fara. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, thank you all for attending. I appreciate it. You all have a wonderful evening. And, as educators, I don't know, the last month has been exhausting. So I just want you all to know we appreciate what you do, and thank you for everything you do for our students and education in Virginia, and keep on doing it.
So I will get this recording and pop it up in YouTube tomorrow and then share it out via the website. I'll update the blog post and we'll get it going. So thank you so much. Thanks, Chanel, for organizing this. Thanks for our lovely attendees as well. And go forth, and Fara and I may be enjoying some snow here in a little while.
Yay!
Yay! Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Fara.
All right. Good night.